the energy of bringing together marketer, technologist, culture, content. It's all here.
Joining me at the Speaker's Corner, powered by the New York Stock Exchange, is Greg Kahn. He is CEO at GK Digital Ventures. Greg, fantastic to have you here. Thanks for joining me.
Great to be here, Judy. Thanks for having me.
So now let's talk about Possible. What are you most excited about from this year's event?
Well, it's my first Possible, and I flew in yesterday. So I got a 24-hour vision of this incredible show. Judy, it reminds me of the first South by Southwest. The energy of bringing together marketer, technologist, culture, content. It's all here. And it's the 2020s version of what South by Southwest was when it first started.
So now, Greg, tell me, what's the biggest shift you're seeing in how brands connect with consumers?
Well, AI is the conversation du jour. It has been for the last 2 years. I think first you'd have to understand how consumers' behavior is shifted. They are reevaluating how they search, how they shop, how they interact with brands, and they're looking to express themselves. So marketers realize that, and they realize in speaking to the individuals that they hope to reach, that they have to co-create. They understand that search behavior is going to be forever changed, and they have to think about new ways that they can interact with consumers authentically, but in a way that the individuals also have a stake.
And tell me, what's the biggest challenge that companies face when trying to innovate, and how do you help them overcome it?
There are so many challenges, Judy, but I think first and foremost, marketer and technologist and the C-suite and the board often have different objectives. And so bringing those individuals together, which is what GK Digital Ventures helps to do on the advisory side, is to help develop frameworks on how to think about artificial intelligence as the playing field is shifting on a daily basis and sometimes on a minute-to-minute basis. You can't react to every single change that is taking place, but at the same token, it's critical to understand those changes from a macro point of view, particularly for the publicly traded companies, and really to think about the short-term, midterm, and long-term vision of those companies, what products and services they should be developing, and how does a marketer or a technologist or a CFO think about those shifts and articulate that to the C-suite, the CEO, as well as to the board.
So, Greg, you mentioned AI being a hot topic here at Possible. How do you see AI or immersive tech changing marketing?
Well, AI is immersive, but immersive tech goes beyond artificial intelligence. I think when we came through this period of time where everybody was talking about the metaverse, augmented and virtual reality, and it didn't quite stick, although augmented reality is closer. What is happening, though, is the way that Gen Z, Gen Alpha are growing up is very, very, very different than how we grew up, and they are tethered to devices. But what is going to quickly change is the types of devices that individuals use and that AI is incorporated into. So as an example, Meta's Ray-Bans, the glasses. AI is being incorporated into the glasses. So if you and I were having the conversation, you might prompt me from the glasses themselves, or you might get nutritional content if you're walking around a supermarket or a restaurant from the glasses. So that's a very big shift. The television itself has mainly been a lean-back experience, but it's going to be much more interactive with artificial intelligence. And already some of the LLMs are developing partnerships with the major OEMs, the TV OEMs, and it's going to be fascinating to see how consumer behavior shifts with these new technologies being introduced into hardware.
Okay, and finally, Greg, what's one innovation you're personally excited about in the next wave of digital marketing?
Sort of building on what I was sharing about immersive, I'm excited about the physical world and the digital world coming together. And it's, here we are at a in-person conference, 5,000 plus individuals. So there's no lack of desire for humanity to get together. But what's also interesting is that the number one use case for Gen AI right now is for companionship. So individuals are seeking companionship, and I think marketers have a role to play in that. So I'm excited to see how that evolves, how the physical and the digital continue to evolve together, and we'll have to do a part 2 to this next year at Possible.
Definitely sounds like we need to do that. Thank you for joining me here at Speaker's Corner, Greg. It's been great to talk with you.
Great to talk to you, Judy, and I'm looking forward to our event together during New York Tech Week.